Okay, this is Nicholas Shephard of the Shepherd Enterprise, Business Administration and Information System Consultants. This is to the 2nd of September 2021. So it is 10:26 a.m. And the whole purpose of this recording is based on my project meetings and dates and times worksheet, right? And what I am doing today, I'm working with my Access database, my project management database system, um, PMDS, Operations Management System, OMS. And what I have discovered was that once I started working on began to start working on a project, and I was trying to come to terms when this project set number is actually established, right? So I went back to my notes here. Well, before I go back to my notes, I wanted to show you exactly what I was doing, and I'm trying to not get myself too boggled down on this. Okay, so in this document right here, this is a project management um, team assignments form, right? And which is, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna bring it up for you. Project manager team assignments, and this project manager team assignments form. If I still have it up. Okay, where is it? I know. Let me see. Form. Okay, we're resource assignment, team assignment. I think it's this one right here. Or it might be the worksheet. But okay, we're gonna go ahead and go design. It's team assignments. And what I have done, which I was previously discussing with you, was that I'm trying to figure out when I should exactly initiate the project set ID. Now, in the project, and I'm gonna go to the customer I'm actually working with, and then we'll work from there. Okay. And again, as I said before, in my previous discussion, I was working with my project group name, which I established project group name, and how it was established, okay, which is as already said. And I basically set up my project group name based on if the client is actually um, going to be working with our company to work on a project that they are uh, tasked us to complete, right? And so what it is that the first thing that we would do is, of course, we will initiate a customer number and assign that customer number to the company's business name and address and all the other information, and then they go through its approval process. And after go through its approval process, we do a background check on the company, make sure the company is financially capable of paying us whatever fees that we want to um, charge them with. And then after that happened, and that has been confirmed, and then we will give the okay to the project manager to go ahead and start building the team. Okay. Now, what the project manager first will do, they will come in, and all this information will be done on the accounting level. Deploy sequence number, deploy sequence payment number, okay, as you say here. Um, and then we will, as you see, we have the customer number. Now, um, once we give the project group name, okay, the project a project group name, then the next step will be how we will actually go about initiating the project group name ID. Now, this unique ID will be generated by by the accounting department once it has been determined that the project work is funded and the project number is set. So as we know that we already went through the process of establishing a project number, which we have here. Now, since the project number is already set, we have to determine how we're going to go about charging this particular project. As we had mentioned before, that this account project number ID associated with this initial project, okay, and this project set number is actually associated with this project number sequence. All right, so what happens is that we can charge the customer in its entirety through the project account project number ID, or we can charge them based on the set sequence number, which is the project set number. Okay, all right. So the project set number is established so that we can initiate the payment of this particular project. Since this is one, if they have one, two, or three, or four projects, we would assign it a different account project number ID, and this particular project set number will initiate the project itself. Okay, so we can either charge the customer by the project number ID, right, for this particular set, or we can um, charge the customer based on this project set number. So if it's multiple numbers, we can list a lot of different sequences under this project number and pay and charge them like that, or we can charge them individually by the project set, right? By utilizing the account project number ID. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Now, what we're doing now is I'm trying to determine when I should initiate the project set number. Okay, now, um, in this particular phase here of the project, we already know that this is an open project. I'm working with a client, and what we're trying to do here is we already established that there's a team assignment ID to this particular project. And like I said, pick myself as the source manager, and there's no other individuals related to that, right? So what I was doing is I was going through a couple of documents and stuff like that to find out, okay, well, when will we initiate the project set ID? So I was looking at not only this document, which is initial stage, because this number, project set number ID, will not be initiated until there's a payment amount available for the customer to distribute to our company. Okay, if that makes sense. All right. Um, so what I have done was I looked at that, and then I went into the initial project manager induction sheet, as you see here, right? Um, and I said, okay, we have the accounting project counting ID. We have the sequence, and we have the project set sequence, and we have the project set number, right? That groups all this stuff together, right? You understand that, right? Okay. So um, now, once we initiate, we create the project, assign the project group name. We know that. We know that um, this customer has been engaged in some type of activities, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to update this form. Let me see. and I'm doing like, some debugging on this whole process and stuff like that, So, mind you, okay, now here it says that, okay, you got the project group name, which isn't showing on this particular form, which it should be, because when I look at this form, and it could be a reason for that, okay? So don't get me wrong. It could be a reason why it's not being displayed in that particular form, all right? Because there's some steps that we have to go through, and far as so if I say this record, well, there's some steps we got to go through in order to produce the name, and then it has to be released by the accounting department once it has been determined that um, that customer will be working with our organization. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to see that it. Okay. So let me see. I'm going to go ahead and. Oh, this is not even the dog. This is not even the record. Sorry about that. Okay, so okay, this is a record here. Sorry, everything was all mixed up. Okay, so we have the project name, right? All right, and what we need to do now is determine when this project set number, right, will be initiated, right? So what we're going to do is, I was looking at a couple of things, right? I was looking at this form, the project tracking form here, and then when I open up this form here, okay, and this is all on the accounting side, all right, they will look at this and they will say, okay, well, um, this particular customer here, all right, are they funded? And the first thing they would do is go down and look and see if there's funds available for this project to start. Okay, if there isn't any funds available, all right, so I mean by funds available, there should be some type of credit amount for us to begin this project. And um, I can click this and it says the project is funded, right? And all we need now is a credit amount, right? So I'm looking for this, okay? I don't see a credit amount, okay, associated with this customer. So the first thing I will have to do is go to, and this is not even the right record. Sorry about that. I don't know why it's not triggering the right one. Okay, so um, looking here, and there isn't any customer amount, right, associated with um, this form. So what I'm doing, I'm gonna go ahead and I click this. All right, we have this is qualified. There isn't any credit amount, anything like that. And of course, it isn't any credit amount because by that this customer has not been billed, right? So, so what we're gonna do basically is we need to find out when should we give this customer um, a project set number. All right. So um, here you got your project set number here, which has been established for this customer, right? And we want to make sure that that whatever the amount is, we can't say quarterly, anything like that. We haven't set this up, to bill them, look at the calculate these amounts under the dates and stuff like that. The quarters or quarterly balance and departments and everything like that. We haven't done that in this particular form. So that's the tracking, and I can go to the post accounts receivable, which really wouldn't make a difference because of the fact that it's not this customer is not really being billed. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this in design. And the next form, well, the table I'd like to go into is to make sure that this customer has all the things that I need in order to get this customer moving. All right. So I'm looking at this customer table, right? And this is where this table, customer accounts table, this is where we initially um, build the customer name, right? So I said right here it has a customer credit amount, which is $500, right? This status is active, right? And also, um, we're building the project phase, right? And so what's happening is that through that, um, I need to either create another form, right, that will manually input the project um, um, set project number, right? After we have identified the fact that this is a paying customer, right? Or we need to, well, that's probably the only option I have right now, okay? Um, so, and if reading this, it says the project set number is established once the project number is active, okay? So we know the project number is active and no pending negative customer statuses are apparent in the corporate table. So there's no negative customer statuses, right? Table in the form. This number groups the project number, right? Okay, this number groups the project number and the project set sequence number along with account project number ID to be billed as a whole. All right. The project set number can group the project number and project set sequence and build them as a whole to or use the count project number ID to build the project by its separate project set sequence number. Okay. So we can either bill this amount, right, which is a sequence number, or we can bill them by the set sequence, right, and build the whole account, right, no matter how many different set sequence numbers there are, right? Okay. Okay. So, the question is, where do we start, right? So, again, this form is the project team assignment. So now we're going to say, all right, the project has been set, all right, and it's active, right? We have a project number, and we identify the fact that this customer will be working with us, um, as far as being a paying customer, right? So the first thing I need to do, and I'm gonna go down to my notes, right? Like you know that I create a lot of notes. Now we know that this table had to be updated, right? When we set the project set sequence number. And we identify that most of these tables have been updated with the information is needed, okay, to pass on to the project, to the accounting department, right? So what I've been looking at was we'll go back to go down to where I need to be. Okay, here, all right, which I previously discussed. It says there are tables. There are tables that contain the project number field. This field identifies what projects are in queue to be worked in any given project timeline. All right. And it wants me to find what tables uses the project set number field and what forms initiate the trigger of these fields to be used or populated in other database tables. All right. Okay, so that's the first step. Well, that's not the first, like the third, fourth step. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I went out of this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at this and bring these down. We already know that we have the project set sequence. And I'm going to assume that this particular project, right, after the project number has been set, okay, and the customer account funding, okay, this particular It's not this phase. Let me go back. We go into the customer count, right? Which is this form. Okay. And we have identified that this particular customer, which I'm going to go to the customer, there's only got 3 test records in here. Okay. This particular customer needs to be worked, right? So once I have identified, now what I can do, okay, for one thing, I need to figure out when do I qualify this record, okay? When do I qualify this record to be worked? All right. So once it has a credit amount, all right, and of course, I'm gonna keep it at 19, and there is an open there's no open balance for this customer. All right. There have to be a way that I can input, all right, okay, or generate um, the information that I need so that these tables or this table information can be um, um, inputted, right? So what I've done, all right, and I was going to test, I was going to make a query, but I found out that this query, all I'm doing is doing double work, so I'm not going to do that, right? So I have these tables, okay, which I'm gonna take this table out because it's not necessary for me to have it right now. Because I think that right there give me the balances. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Let me see. Total adjustment. No, that's the same thing. Okay, so I can take this out, right? And then I can run this query. Okay, I gotta pull that out. Pull them all out. It's giving me something that I already did. Let me just do this. Okay, so I'm gonna go here because mind you, I'm going off of this table here, right? The funding table, because I want to create an customer customer project set number, right? So what I'm going to do based on this table here, account funding, right, which is um, let me see, where's my table at? I'm not going to use that. So the account funding table. See, this is a table that holds the data, right? So what I'm gonna be doing basically, I'm going to be utilizing this table, right, as a trigger, okay, so that I can enter this information into these fields. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm trying to create a query that that actually initiate this. Now, there's a lot of things that can happen, right? Like I said, I have this. Okay, I have the project. Once this number has been established, we know it's a project number. Um, There's two things I'm gonna need to do. I'm gonna have to set a project group ID, right? And I'm gonna have to ensure that um, the customer has no outstanding balances. Okay. So what I'm going to do in this project team assignment, and I'm going to look back and see if I have this already, but if not, then it's okay too. So look at this project team assignment, because I'm going to make sure, because when I create this table, right, and this input table, because I'm going to do it from the query, I got to make sure that the information I have is right, or else everything's going to fall apart. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this, put this in here, bring this table here. So this is the project, and it's trying to associate itself, but I don't want to base it on that. I don't want to base it on the ID at all, right? Not for this particular one. I want to base it on this number here. So this right here is actually the group table and the explanation of cost. So I'm going to base it on these two right here, right? The pool on these two, right? Because it has to have these two numbers for me to even do the set sequence number. Hold on, make sure. See, sequence project set sequence number. I'm gonna do the project set number. So okay, yeah. So it's gonna be based on this right here. Right, so I'm gonna tie these in together, right? And I'm gonna run this query. Create update statement. So, oh, it's not an update statement. It's a select statement. Sorry. So I'm gonna run this. Okay. So let me see what's going on here. Go ahead and view. Select. Let's see. View the. Let's see. Is it someplace? I thought I took everything out. Oh, okay. That's right. I don't have anything in there. So I'm gonna need to do the set sequence number, right? So my thing is I want to do one or two things, and I'm trying to be diplomatic about this because I don't want to, be pulling a bunch of information that's not needed, right? And I want everything to be based on what we currently have and what's needed to get this project moving forward. All right. So I was thinking about using this. Yeah, I'm gonna try this one first. Okay, so a lot of stuff I'm not even gonna need, right? But I'm gonna pull all the information anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna run this query, and it gives me these three numbers, right? So I'm gonna look at the only thing I want to look at basically is where the project group name isn't null, right? That view. Where the project group number isn't null, so I'm gonna go. That's gonna be one of the factors. Because if the project group name is null, then they're not even working on the project. So with a project group name, and of course I'm not gonna use none of this stuff here either. So you know why I shouldn't even have it in there. That's just wasted space. Unless I want to group it by where they are, but that's a different query. So go here, do this, kill this. I don't need that. Go here, state zip, contact information. group name cannot be null, right? Is not, oops, null, right? So I'm gonna run this query again. So it's gonna give me this one record, right? Which is good. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I can I can create um, in this query, right? I can create a form. Now, there's a lot of different ways we can do it, right? Um, I can create a blank form, right, with all the information there, just like this. After I save it, and all it would do is basically tell me, well, you know, these are the fields that you can update, right? And I can pretty much, um, you know, pretty much move stuff around if I want to. But this is how I will manually put the information in there. Now, once I manually put this information in, I will have to do an update statement to the service table, all right, so that it would update all the subsequent tables with the new information, right? So, but only thing I'm really focused on at this particular time is one thing, and that is the information that is needed for me to engage this project into a project, right? And that is to find the project set number, right? So what I'm going to do is project set number. Project set ID. Project set ID. Project set project group name, right? And project set. Where is it? Okay. Go down, 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 down. Where are you? Oh, it's in here. I've been pedaling around, and okay. So, this is not even the table I need to be messing with because it doesn't have it in here. So, the project set. What about this one? Team assignments. So I'm going to add one more table, right? And the results of the table, I'm going to have to update the other table. Okay. That's going to be kind of hectic. So basically, I want to put it not in this table, but I want to put it inside of the project table, right? Because that's where they're gonna need to see it, right? They're gonna need to see it in this table here. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this information out of this table here. This is where I gotta release it. All right. Wait a minute. Let me see. Hold on. Let me think of something. Let me think of something here. Because there's something else I needed to do as well. And this is the worksheet. Where I set the project name ID. All right. I mean the project group name ID. So project group name ID. Let's see, project listing. So what's this? I think this was it here. Let's see, we go back. To the values. Set ID values. Okay. So this team assignment won't even be relevant, right? As far as this, I can use this, but team assignment, right? Okay, so make sure it's in here. I didn't see where it went once I loaded it. Okay, so take this, put it here. Okay, so this, set values. So I want to set the values for this. All right. So it's not set number. It's going to be based on the set sequence. It should be, figure out exactly how I'm going to do this. So project set sequence number. Open in here. Yep. So project set sequence number. Because that's what it's going to be based on. Or should, let me see, should be based on this. Okay, I'm going to run a query based on this first. Right, and explanation of costs, I will utilize, where are you? I will utilize, see if I have it. Set sequence number, right? Okay. I'm run this query and see if it works. Okay, it has 3 values, right? And that's because it's grouped by got the joins wrong. Okay, I got the joins wrong. Well, I don't have something hooked up. Something's not connected. So actually, I can take this out because I don't need this table. All right. And let's see, the corporate table, which I would be engaged in. So explanation of costs. I probably won't need that table. Right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring this over, bring this here, because I'm gonna set in the values. Right. Of course, this eliminated a lot of stuff. Because like I said, the only thing I'm gonna be doing is this corporate ID. And I'm gonna set this based on customer number. See a customer number. I think it's a customer number. There's no project number. I think it's a customer number. So it's be based on the customer number, right? So customer number. I just want to see the customer project. I know the customer number is in here. The customer number is in here. It has to be here. The contract name. Project name. There's no customer name in the project. I thought it has to be a customer number here. You gotta be kidding me. In the project intro, there's no customer number. It's project team assignments. This is project. So it's project sequence, set sequence number. So it's based on okay. So it's based on the sequence. I got the project number, but that's not the project number. But that project number be associated with the customer itself, but it's not the sequence number. Okay, there's a customer number there in the project. So why is it not showing here? Let's see. Customer number. Trying to find the customer number. I know it's in here because I see it on the table. Maybe I'm just going too fast and moving too quick. Nope, it's not showing it. So, introduction sheet. So, let me. Oh, I know why. No, I don't know why. Let's see. Go back to design view. Project intro. Did I grab the right table? So, where's the query? Set values. I figure out why is that? I don't see a customer number. Oh man, this. My goodness, where's the customer? It said the customer knows in there, but I don't see it. What do we have here? customer here. I thought this had a customer number as well. Yeah, I'm just passing it up, man. I have to be passing it up. I'm just impatient, which is one of my handicaps. I'm not seeing the customer number though. Project intro. Oh, there isn't any customer number here. What is it? I just seen it. It is right here. There's a customer number in there. So why doesn't that say it's on a type of sub account? It's under type of sub account. Yeah, here it is. So blind. Keep past. I was passing it up. I knew it was. Okay, customer number. Go away. Okay. And run a query again. Close this other one out. That says I have the table open. Oh, the form. I had a form open. Yeah, form open. Query. The form. I gotta close the form out. This is already open, so it's open. This one. So as I said, it's already open already. Oh, this right here. Okay, so that's the record we have. So what I need to do is, there's two things I'm gonna need to do. I'm going to input project group name ID, right? And I'm gonna have to put in project group name ID, and also I'm going to put in select a where's the table? Do I already have the table up? And project set sequence number. Project set number rather. Right? So I'm gonna go down here. Some of the stuff I don't even need to have in here, man. But I'll clean it up. So I can do all my, it should be up here, it should be way back there. So clear this out. This is not the table I need to be using. The table I'm gonna be using to set everything is going to be not gonna be this table, but this is going to determine, it's gonna be a determining factor. But I have this, and it says even use and use date. Right? Use date. Okay, run this. Let's see. So you already have these right here for the set numbers. Alright, so this is February the 20th, and so I'm gonna stop this right now, right, and I'll continue on a little later, so that I can get some other things taken care of, right? So thank you very much, and I will